Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gap Major, and this is WoWs Weekly. WoWs Weekly is the weekly news video which covers news of World of Warships Legends in the week past, present, future, and along with channel admin and speculations and anything else really that we can scrape together, I guess you could say. So, the headlines this week. Ranked Season 30. Now, I know I covered this last WoWs Weekly, but we're going to cover it again. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of rinse and repeat if you caught us last week. Also, Mobile Legends, there's a little bit more. There's blog posts and things like that. And last but not least, we have Agincourt. So these headlines and more after this short break. So first off the bat, we're going to cover Ranked Season 30, which starts tomorrow, September the 15th, starting at 7 AM UTC and runs until Monday the 19th, obviously ending at 7 AM UTC. This season will be Tier 4 ships with all ships apart from carriers allowed. Now there will be only 1 destroyer per team and 4 ships per side. There are no leagues, and irrevocable ranks will be 7, 6, 3, and 1. Maps will be Big Race, Tiers, Desert, Polar, Sleeping Giant, Northern Waters, and New Dawn. The rewards are almost as you can kind of see there, but basically 1 day premium and 10 rare Commander XP boosters for getting to rank 6. Getting to rank 5 will give you 3 promotion orders and 10 rare ship XP boosters. Rank 4 will get you 5,000 Global XP and 10 rare battle boosters. Rank 3 will get you 3 promotion orders, 10 rare credit boosters, and 200 steel once the season is over. Rank 2 will get you 2 days premium count and 10 rare Commander XP boosters. So it's not too much. I think the main one that people will be pushing for all the way through for is going to be making it to rank 1, where you'll get an additional 300 steel and 1 universal accommodation. So that'll be quite handy. So, starting on September the 12th and continuing for the next 3 weeks, there is the Majestic Days mini campaign, which is now available in-game. Now, in order to do this, you have to complete basically daily missions in order to slowly accrue through the 7 missions per week. And, well, 7 steps, I guess you could say. But obviously, each one has to be completed in each day. Now, any that are missed can be recovered for a small token of 250 doubloons. However, the weekly rewards, so that's the bonus rewards on the end of the Commander Crate, the Insignia, and the UK Commander Crate, those have to be acquired separately. So either if you complete the whole week for free, I think you get them. If you have to use doubloons, then you have to, or if you want these, you have to purchase them. And to purchase them for weeks, I've got my math wrong here, lower down, but for week 1 it would cost you 1,500 doubloons if you need to get that Commander Crate, and for week 2 and 3 it's 1,750 doubloons in order to get each one. So that means that if you obviously decide that you're going to sit this whole thing out, then in order to get the Agincourt you would need to pay 5,250 doubloons to complete the 21 steps in basically, just the 21 numbered steps. However, if you want to get the bonus rewards as well, you're going to have to purchase them for an additional 5,000 doubloons, which probably means they're not exactly worthwhile, I have to say, unless you really want that insignia. Maybe. Anyway, obviously it runs for the next 3 weeks, so that means even though the event will start on the 12th and concludes on October the 3rd. However, there'll be an additional 2 weeks, so basically this will hang around for an additional 2 weeks until October the 17th in order to allow people to catch up with doubloons if they so wish. Now, so in the patch notes it said login daily. Yeah, the goalposts have certainly moved, with now there being about 3 daily missions that have to be done. These missions have to be completed in AI or standard battles and are completable in tier 3 and up ships. Now, generally they don't seem to be that hard. You can probably complete them in 2 or 3 games potentially. However, there are some slightly awkward missions. For example, on day 4 of this week, tomorrow, the mission will be to shoot down 10 aircraft, which subject to obviously your interaction with carriers and what ships you play and things like that, could obviously impede your your ability to complete that mission. So, but potentially, maybe the best way to play that one would be to actually play a carrier, maybe a tier 5 or tier 7 carrier, and actively try and hunt down the enemy squadrons and drop your fighters on them. That might be one way to try and get those 10 shoot downs if you need them. Anyway, there are basically daily rewards as we go through. These rewards, the summary is as follows. For week 1, 10 common boosters, 2 of each type, 10 rare boosters, 2 of each type, 75,000 credits, 20,000 commander XP, 2,500 globe XP, 1 common container, 1 spring big crate, 1 fall big crate, 1 winter big crate, 2 promotional orders, 1 universal accommodation, and obviously the commander crate at the end. For week 2, the daily rewards are as follows: 10 common boosters, 10 rare boosters, 2 of each type, 225,000 credits, 5,000 commander XP, 2,500 globe XP, 1 day premium, 4 common containers, 1 summer big crate, 1 fall big crate, 1 winter big crate, and 4 promotion orders. And the end reward of the week is an insignia. For week 3, you'll get 10 common and 10 rare boosters, 2 of each type, 75,000 credits. So they really buffed the credits in the middle one, which is quite interesting. 5,000 commander XP, 5,000 globe XP, 2 days premium account, 2 common containers, 1 spring big crate, 1 summer big crate, 1 normal big crate, and 3 promotion orders. And obviously the end reward of that week is a British commander crate. And if you complete all 3 weeks, you'll be getting the British tier 3 premium battleship, the Agincourt. Onto the Agincourt herself. Now, the wargaming summary is that she has 14 12-inch guns caliber and has the joint best secondary range at her tier with a 5 km range base. Her downside is that she has no anti-aircraft capability. Now, my summary in regards to the Agincourt. So obviously I haven't done a review. I've been a bit pressed for time and I haven't really gotten around to it. But I have played the Agincourt and I'll give you my summary here. So this is almost the Major's very quick review, I guess you could say. Her armor / survivability, she has quite good armor, but she does have the classic Yamato cheek, which obviously means that below B turret she has a bit of an angled slab, which is good for bow tanking, but if she's angled, it's basically a flat plate and will allow people to citadel you through that. She is very big, she makes a very big target, and so I found that she suffers quite a lot from HE spam because she's not difficult to miss, is the best way to put it. Main battery, her guns have really good angles, with Y turret at the back actually being a 360 degree turret, which means that obviously once Y turret swings around, you have 5 turrets which are forward facing, which means that she makes quite good maneuverability when turning on the bow. She can kind of flick out her port side and then nose in and flick out her stern side. When it comes to obviously running away as brave Sir Robin, she can only bring 3 turrets, which obviously swing back and forth in the same kind of manner. So she's definitely a lot better going into the enemy. So that's a nice little buff with the Y turret. I was kind of quite pleased when I saw that. Now the downside is that obviously the guns are only 12-inch in caliber, so they're not that amazing, I guess you could say, in what they can do. I find that when I play her, I mostly end up playing in high explosives most of the time, only reserving the armor piercing for when there's a mid-range cruiser, because I find that long range it just scatters everywhere, and when you're close in it just overpens, even though it's British AP. And using the AP at mid-range against battleships, usually 7 kilometers or less. That's kind of where I think the shell velocity has enough punch to get into that broadside, I guess you could say. Now the secondary battery is actually really quite nice. I think she's got 26-inch guns, which is 6-inch guns, which is actually really quite nice. They are high explosive shells as well, so they set lots of fires. And with a full-on secondary build like I have at the moment, I've been able to buff the secondary range all the way out to 7.6 kilometers, usually getting myself 75 plus hits per game. Obviously, the AA is very easy to talk about. There is no anti-aircraft, which does mean that this ship is very much carrier food. It's very easy to focus her out. And I do find, obviously, against certain carriers, you get more high explosive bomb spam, I guess you could say. Concealment is only 10% shorter than the main battery, so she isn't that sneaky, and I bear that in mind when it comes to considering, say, the brawler trait, which will affect your main battery range. Maneuverability, she's big, she is slow, she only does 21 knots base, and even with a speed build she was only able to do 24.5 knots, which is obviously quite a few knots shy of my speed demon HMS Bellerophon doing 28.5 knots. She has a very slow rudder shift too, 12.1 seconds if I recall off the top of my head, and on top of lacking anti-aircraft capability, she's obviously this is another area where she kind of feels lacking, at least for me, and well, you know what I'm like, I really do like my speed and power. So in summary, if you get her for free, I don't think she's that bad. If you haven't purchased her for 5,250 doubloons, I think it's justifiable. You just have to remember that she obviously does have some downsides, I guess you could say. She's survivable, but obviously she's very big and very slow, and obviously can't defend herself against aircraft. For me personally, I do have a kind of soft spot for my speed demon HMS Bellerophon, and therefore the Agincourt probably falls to more like a second place for a premium British tier 3 battleship. However, Agincourt does offer a hell of a lot better armor scheme and is a lot more survivable. Furthermore, that number of guns that can hit quite hard, quite nicely, and furthermore she has that secondary battery that really does reach out and can give you some really good funny games with those secondaries. She can assert that they really do feel worthwhile and do feel slightly more accurate than normal, I guess you could say. On to Mobile Legends. So obviously there has been a blog post which has come out regarding Mobile Legends. The most critical thing about this blog post really is how to link your console to the mobile, console account to your mobile. So obviously that is all linked down in the description if you want to go check it out and need to follow it. Now I do have kind of some reports from people who have taken or downloaded the mobile version of the game, and so I'm going to paraphrase some of their comments / initial encounters with the mobile version of the game. Downloading the mobile version, they, unfortunately due to the size of the game, they only downloaded the limited client of the game, which is only 1 gigabit. However, if you want to download the full version of the game, this is a further 9 gigabytes, which means that World of Warships Legends on mobile is a 10 gigabyte game. Most phones usually can take that, but obviously bear in mind, take that into account when you are downloading it, and bear in mind there's going to be updates and other things like that with the game. So it kind of makes you wonder, what's really the benefit of downloading World of Warships Legends on mobile when you can just download World of Warships Blitz, which only takes 2.2 gig. I think that's quite a good point, really. The only benefit of Legends is it links to your console account, I guess you could say, but in general, Blitz is a hell of a lot smaller game and kind of probably gives you the same on the mobile experience, I guess you could say. And furthermore, Blitz is developed around being a mobile game, whereas Legends is a console game crammed onto a mobile. Now, upon downloading the game, you will have to play a tier 1 match, unfortunately, before you can even sync your account to your console version of the game. Now, the person who did download the game, their feedback was that the controls are rather annoying and the frame rate was a little choppy while they had it. There is no tutorial. Obviously it tells you how to accelerate and which button shoots, but after that you're kind of left up to your own devices. Syncing your account was a little tedious, and having to sign into Facebook at least twice and signing into the PlayStation Network a further 4 times. Now, this person only was able to download the limited client version of the game, and honestly I don't think they're going to go for the full game version, but with the limited client version of the game you can only play AI matches at tier 1 and tier 2. You can look at your commanders, but you may not touch or may not rearrange their skills, so it's a little choppy, I guess you could say, upon that release. However, obviously bear in mind this was only a limited version of the game and not the full release version of the game, which obviously will mean that you'll need to download even more. Now, the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is a Chinese holiday, is obviously featuring a mission in store, which will get you this flag and this patch. So those of you who do know, I mean, the missus, we do have pet rabbits. We have we got 3 at the moment now. We also bred a litter earlier this year, and so I kind of like this rabbit. So I've gone and changed my my patch from the nutty squirrel to this rather cute rabbit, I guess you could say. Anyway, the mission's in the store. Simply redeem it, and then you got. I'm not actually sure how long you got to crack on for with it, but it's I managed to complete it without really paying attention, I guess you could say. Unsheathe the Sword assignment. So this is a free Unsheathe the Sword assignment, which has now automatically been given to all players. Now, this assignment has various prizes, including insignias, camos, crates, and more, and is available until September the 20th. Now, please note that you need to have the Musashi in order to complete this assignment. So, yeah, it's maybe it's baiting for whales, I guess you could say. Now, I guess you could almost, the Musashi assignment is kind of comical, and at the moment you're seeing a huge population boom of whales in their Musashis at tier 8 at the moment, with 4 to 8 per match, because the missions can only be completed in standard. And considering it's quite a lot of work, really, just for an insignia and a commander crate, because the rest of the rewards are kind of junk. And the reason being is, obviously, to get these assignments, you need to boost the campaign with doubloons, or really try hard and complete all your heroic efforts in order to obviously complete the campaign by week 3 in order to get this. Obviously, you can complete it a bit later, I guess you could say, but really, that means that you've kind of done the campaign. Once you've done the campaign, you've already got quite a lot of these rewards, really, and therefore the rest of the rewards are kind of a little bit trashy, I guess you could say. And it just kind of feels like Wargaming's milking those whales just a little bit more. Video Games Day. So there is this flag, which is obviously available through a redeem code. That redeem code is down in the description, nice and copy and pasteable. So feel free to collect that if you have not. So there should be another thing here. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, there should be a PNG. Maybe it didn't work. We'll cover this in a second. But basically, there is a World of Warships Legends Fateful Wind bundle, which is now available in the Xbox Microsoft Store and the PSN Store. This is basically the usual classic. If you've got the PS Plus or Microsoft subscription account, you can claim this bundle for free, and it will give you a tier 2 premium ship along with some other goodies. Please ignore the image. It just didn't work, unfortunately. Now, obviously, this time, rather than it just being redeem it and there's your ship, it's redeem it and now you have a special mission. You have to complete the mission, therefore actually play the game, in order to then get your tier 2 ship. Now, upon completing your assignments, you'll get the main reward, which is the Japanese tier 2 premium destroyer, the Tachibana. Or Tachibana? Tachibana. Let's go Tachibana. Now, obviously, there are more prizes, including freebies available in the bundle alongside the mission. So the bundle includes, obviously, the Tachibana, with tier 2 Japanese premium destroyer, and basically, the opinion from someone who's already managed to grind her out, she's worse than the tier 2 USS Sims, and therefore you have to sometimes question yourself, like, really, what? At the end of the day, I know it's a tier 2 destroyer, but really, what's it really offering, I guess you could say. Now, obviously, if you inside this bundle, you'll also get 12 Type 3 Halloween camouflages available after completing the first part of the mission, 12 Rust Bucket camouflages, which are available after completing the second part of the mission. It's almost implying that this is kind of getting ready for Halloween, I guess you could say. 5 days premium count, 27 rare ship XP, 27 rare credit XP, not XP, just credits, 27 rare commander, 27 rare global, and 27 rare battle booster flags, along with 37,000 commander XP. Please note that the mission will be automatically added to your in-game mission tab when you purchase this set. Obviously, it's for free, but you need to claim it or redeem it from the store, and it's only free if you have a PS Plus or Microsoft Live subscription. Now, the mission is only going to be available to complete up until December the 9th at 7 AM UTC. Now, those missions, if you are interested, is earn 7,000 XP in standard or AI battles, tier 3 and up. And the second mission is in 3 battles, make it to the top 3 in your team by XP received in standard battles and AI battles in a tier 3 and up. So they're quite simple, quite easy to achieve, and therefore people can get their Tachi banner, I guess you could say. Now, now we got to the news that we actually have on screen here, so let's give you a drum beat. There you go. Now, ranked season 29 stats are out, and really, most of these stats are kind of rubbish. We got a bit here, which is basically how were games won, mostly by basically team victory. That's very good, isn't it? But then we over there, down here, we have this really useless section, which is about the distribution of the maps. And all it basically says is, yes, your chance of getting any map was the same percentage chance. So basically, it's like, what's the chance of rolling 1 on the 6-sided dice? It's 1 in 6. And why we end up having this I'm sure this is just to fill space, in honesty. Up here we do have obviously how many people made it to each rank, and the interesting one is up here, rank 1, only 10% of people made it, which is rather low, I guess you could say. Over on the far side, we've got most popular ships down at the bottom, and honestly, I don't like any of those ships. I think they're all pretty poor choices. So community, I am disappointed in you. Pick better ships next time. Best cruiser at tier 3 is the Svetlana. She's got really good armor. I don't know why she seems to slip under the radar, but she's covered in guns, she's got torpedoes, and she's got armor. So ironically, it's a Russian ship that's actually good, or at least from my opinion. I'm not a big fan of the Russian ships in games, but community, Svetlana, trust me. And then at the top, we've got obviously how many kills and how many people played, and only 86,578 players. So let's put that into perspective in regards to what the population is. So here we go. So this is basically the tracking of all the results. So all the way down the end, we have the very first season of Arena, all the way back almost this time last year. It's about almost. And then it goes along. We've got a couple of seasons of Arena and a couple of seasons of Ranked where they have released stats. Up here we have a Brawl where the player numbers suddenly all jumped up to 200k, and then we're back down. So yeah, it kind of shows. The question is, obviously, this is what Wargaming tell us. I mean, I'm not going to argue with them, but the question is, sometimes you have to ask yourself, how much do you trust them? Because they're the ones who make the stats, and obviously, we can never really prove them, I guess you could say. But it's interesting, obviously, the number of players here, it matches all the way down there, but then this kind of level matches with this, and I think there's one good thing, I guess you could say here. This season of Ranked has probably been the most popular season of Ranked as so far. The general trend is like the first season does quite well, as you can kind of see with this one, and then it drops down as people kind of lose interest as things go on. So obviously I'm expecting for the next couple of seasons ranks for the stats to probably drop, but not massively, probably drop to say 80,000 for this season, for season 30, drop into about probably 75,000-ish for the season 31. But obviously, fingers crossed, they release stats, and I'll keep adding them, and I'll keep tracking them and see where things go. But basically, the player base apparently really loves Brawl, tried Arena once, and doesn't really care for Arena and Ranked. At least the differences between Arena and Ranked aren't that massive, I guess you could say. Anyway, that is all of the news, and so if you have enjoyed it, obviously, because obviously I know some people watch the news and then they hang around for the chat afterwards. If you have enjoyed the news, thumbs up. If you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. And I know I haven't reviewed anything since July. I really need to get my my butt in gear, I guess you could say. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed it, and obviously, after this, there will be a pinned post down below if you want to get anything in the chat below, in the news bar for next week. And if you want to join us on Friday's live stream, there will be a Friday's live stream, then obviously if you shout out in the chat there and say something that I find quite amusing or something, I'll pop it down there. Obviously this week there's not a lot down there because Friday's stream was rather somber, I guess you could say. It was rather respectful, I guess you could say, but toned down a bit. So obviously there wasn't so many dad jokes and puns this week for me to share. But last week we had loads down there, which is really quite nice. Anyway, I'll join the chat as I continue chatting after this short break. Just going to jump in on Vaz's recent chat message. The blog is saying you can buy the weekly rewards if you miss them. It's not clear. Yes, yeah. So if you miss them, I think you can purchase them. I'm not exactly sure if you have to purchase the whole week and then purchase the end one, or whether you just purchase the end one. But yeah, so it's 250 a day, and then the final week one is like 1,500 for week one, 1,750 for weeks 2 and 3. Anyway, I'm going to jump all the way back to the start. I'm going to say hello and welcome as I go through the chat, and obviously I'm going to slowly catch up with the chat, so I hope you don't mind, ladies and gents. But let's say hello Apple Crip, hello Vaz Vegas, hello Jeff Dave, hello Ranching, hello Salty Sax, good to see you. Sean Whitney as well, good evening. Jeff Dave, anyone else picked up the Fateful Wind expansion? Apple Crib obviously has, and I would like to say thank you to Apple Crib for the work he did in just quickly grinding out and passing on that information. Much obliged, sir. That's very helpful. Sean, has the daily mission gone from Legends? I think it's been replaced by the missions for the Agincourt. Someone will probably correct me if I'm wrong there. I'm clear the ship is not worth it, but the boosters and Commander XP, but this is for the Fateful Wind bundle. It is obviously quite nice, which is fair enough. Jeff Dave, the DD is not the best, but the boosters are good. Okay, ditto. It's good to see that a couple of chaps actually kind of agree. The Agincourt mini campaigns, daily missions in the moment. Brilliant. Okay, I was correct. Cheers. Vaz, I barely got the daily missions done last night. I had to run a few yellow lights on the way home from work in order to have enough time for 2 battles. Oh boy, Vaz. Careful. Hello. Las Vegas, bonus rewards cost balloons. Yes. I don't think. Do they cost? I think. Do you get them free at the end, or do you have to buy them? Weekly rewards. Well, the blog post is linked down in the description, so I'll let you chaps have a look at it. Hello, Mike X Gaming. Good to see you, sir. Be careful, Vaz. Don't risk your life for a game. Yeah, very true, very true. Although I'm pretty sure some people probably spend too much life on the game. Major's favourite BB is Oklahoma. Oof. Careful, Tazor. There might be a revolt if you keep that up. Ray Chang, isn't no AA pretty standard for tier 3? I know what you mean. Tier 3, usually AA is pretty terrible anyway. I just think that by Agincourt having no AA, she's basically there's no risk for the carrier in bullying her in comparison to, say, a Bellerophon. Bellerophon does have the pom-poms, some 4-inch AA guns, which kind of does put up some resistance, and obviously losing aircraft does affect the carrier. So the carrier can kind of choose between, I might lose a plane or two if I go after that ship, but I definitely won't lose any aircraft going after that ship. They usually go after that ship, and that's usually the Agincourt. And yeah, it can be a little bit irritating. Okay, I think many AFKs nowadays come from mobile players. I encountered many AFKs in the past few days. I haven't, but I haven't been playing too high a tier. Las Vegas, on Android, you can back out and sync your account before playing a match, apparently. It's not obvious, so I missed it. On Apple, you must play at least one match first. Much obliged, Vaz, for the additional information. running chain. I imagine lots of mobile players getting disconnected as well. Yes, especially the connection is choppy at times. Yeah, I can just see AFK players from caused by mobiles being quite common, I guess you could say. I'm a quick. Oh yes, imagine they play in the game while commuting and disconnected every now and then. That's very true. And after a while, you probably like get frustrated with trying to log back in. Short Whittling, the gaming flag looks like an old Sega Game Gear on it. It's a hint at which console legends go down next. In all honesty, part of me just wonders why don't they do World of Warships Legends on the Wii Switch? Is what I want to say. That'd be quite interesting if they did that. Fans, if I don't buy the weekly rewards, will I not get the Ashen Core? I don't think you need to buy. I don't think you need to buy the weekly rewards to get the Ashen Core. Otherwise, they'd be making you spend 4,000 doubloons for weekly rewards to then get a ship worth 5,250. That would be a con if that was the case. Phoenix, I know, Randy. The Phoenix, the floating citadel, was the most played cruiser. The most played destroyer was the Isokas, the torpedo boat, which doesn't really contribute much to the team. And the most played battleship was the secondary battery battleship, the Kaiser, with the wonky dispersion. In all honesty, I'd probably say those are the three worst ships that people could play in ranked. And they're the most played ships by the community in ranked, and it kind of makes me wonder, is that why only 46% people dabbled in it? Is that why half the people didn't complete it? Because they're playing those god-awful ships over there. Oh. The blog is saying that you have to buy the weekly rewards if you miss them. Is that... Yeah, it's not like that. Yeah, Spartacus. Hello. How long does a new tech line on PC makes it in console? British BCs, German DD split, French British battle cruisers, IGN light cruisers, for example. I think maybe the best one to look at would be, say, the Italian battleships in their transfer, and maybe the German battle cruisers. But usually it seems to be about a year minimum. Give or take, I guess you could say, because year and a half maybe. It definitely took like a year for the Italian, about a year and a half actually, I think, for the Italian battleships. About a year and a half for the German battle cruisers, at least from when they're initially announced in the development blog. So it might be about a year, although some people might have another question of years. Yeah. So please put World of Warships on Switch. Yeah, I'd like it. Put it on the Wii Fit. What's it? The Wii, is it the Switch? Is it Switch Ring or something? Get some exercise done while you're playing World of Warships Legends. That'd be good fun. I mean, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure not everyone was probably as nutty as some people I know, but back on the PlayStation 2, you could plug in a dance mat, and the dance mat would have all the buttons for the controller on it, so you could play. I think I remember one of my friends used to play an RPG. I think it was Star Wars Battlefront, using a dance mat. Most craziest thing I ever heard of, but like in concept, it actually sounds like a bit of a laugh. Like test yourself, really. Right. Okay. Channel news, I guess you could say, or let me There we go. Let's get to this. So obviously, channel-wise, Friday live stream, thumbs up. Actually, I forgot. I haven't mentioned it in WoWs Weekly actually, but next week Plymouth is coming out for 17,500 doubloons on Monday, and I probably won't be reviewing her that week because I'm on holiday. I am going to be away. So next week. There probably won't be anything on the channel. There won't be any. Won't be WoWs Weekly. I'm going to be away in Cornwall, and Friday's live stream will probably get pushed to the Saturday. That seems fair. Yeah. Obviously, subject to negotiations with the wife. So, yeah, Friday's live stream on the 23rd will probably either turn up on Saturday the 24th or Sunday the 25th, subject to negotiations with the wife. Now, this Friday's live stream will be fine on the 16th. Week following, I would like to review the Plymouth, I would like to review the Agincourt. It's just obviously getting the time to do it and really put some effort into them, I guess you could say. Obviously, the new patch drops on October the 3rd. Obviously, expect Halloween stuff. I mean, expect a Halloween mode, in all honesty, and probably some Halloween camos, maybe commanders. Or, to be honest, I've noticed that they've started doing more guises over new commanders. So there might be some Halloween guises rather than commanders, I guess you could say. In regards to anything else, obviously we haven't really got anything teased, I guess you could say. There isn't really anything to expect or anything to tease. However, I say we could probably maybe start expecting teasers for the next patch. Probably maybe September the 26th, but if they decide they're going to do teasers. Sometimes teasers start coming out from the 26th, I guess you could say. Maybe even from the 23rd. Sometimes it really depends. Fingers crossed, Wargaming mess it up again and accidentally release the stream schedule with all the details in it and the thumbnail. Otherwise, yeah. So I guess in some regards, we can expect the patch notes 28th, maybe. Nope, 29th. Thursday 29th. That's quite likely, I guess you could say. Obviously, give or take, you know what they're like. So I wouldn't hold them to it, but that's quite likely. And then obviously with the new patch then dropping on the 3rd, which would be quite interesting. First thing for me on Monday is to pick up the Plymouth and then sitting in the battle queue for 10 hours due to the Queen's funeral. Yeah. So obviously here in the UK, Monday the 19th is a bank holiday. Cheerio, Vaz. Cheerio, Joe. Right, okay, that's the channel news, that's everything. I haven't got really anything else to add. So I hope you're all well, I hope you're all safe, I hope you all have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are in the world. Hope you enjoyed this Pulse Weekly, and as always, pin post down below afterwards, shout out in Friday's chat, news, scrolly thing, you know what to do. Until next time, I'm the Gaff Major, and back to the port.